Hello everyone and welcome to episode 10 of The Spawn Point. This week we are only joined with me and Andy, which is something we haven't done before, just two of us. We have got the spirit of Steve Barnett below me and also an upgraded version, Steve Barnett 2.0. He's got a few major upgrades we've made, such as an off switch whenever you need it, and he doesn't talk quite as much, so yeah, we've made some major improvements.
But those of you that are worried that we've done something dodgy to Steve, he will return next week.
Or would you like to say, he'll be back?
I would, but I was trying to avoid stereotyping and being sued. But he may be back next week.
Yeah. But this episode is all about DLC packs and whether you should buy them. We're going to discuss stuff about day one DLC, standalone DLC, season passes, expansions, what you should buy, what you think you shouldn't bother purchasing. And I want to start off, just get straight into the nitty-gritty with Andy just basically telling us his overall opinion of day one DLC. So Andy, what is that?
Day one DLC is DLC that comes out on day one of a game coming out, unsurprisingly. And you know what? Fuck day one DLC. Seriously. It's one of those things that just makes my blood boil. It's like, why release a game and then just go, hey, you know what? You could have got a completed game, but we decided to detach a bit of it that you can buy for an extra X amount of pounds. That's a great deal, isn't it?
But you got to give credit to the PR team to be able to actually justify this somehow. Like the fact that, so if it came out the day after, and I don't know how they do it. I don't know how they explain the day one DLC stuff. Like, there was so much content, couldn't fit it into the disc. That doesn't work. There was so much content that we couldn't release on time. It doesn't work. It's day one. Like, I don't see how they're able to market this unless there's something I'm missing, or I don't really pay attention. If I hear that a game's got day one DLC, I just don't pay attention to it. So I haven't really done the research to figure out how they explain, justify it. Like, explain, this is how we're able to, this is why we're doing it. And the reason for that is there isn't a reason. It's just you're trying to get more money out of people.
That's it. Yeah, give us the whole damn game. We're paying like up to £40 for a damn game, and you're giving us the option to buy more of the game because it's worth it.
It just seems like even if this, from a marketing perspective, even if this content was available on day one, on release, like this, obviously what I'm about to say is going to be deceptive and it's not going to be right. But if you were planning to release downloadable content that you'd already made, wouldn't you want to release that a few months later so it seemed like it took a while, that couldn't be in the final game? Because releasing it the day after kind of admits to your audience that, yeah, we know we made this DLC early and we're going to release it anyway. Like, they're admitting to the crime, basically. You see where I'm coming from?
Yeah.
You'd think that they would wait to release this stuff, and then that gives them more time to... It's still not acceptable, but that makes more sense from a marketing perspective for me, that if they wanted to really justify this DLC and really sell it to people, they would wait more than a day before they released it.
See, I mean, if they were going to, detach a piece of game, it's like, hey, you know what? We've been working on this for the last 6 months. No, we didn't. We just didn't put it in the game originally. And why not just buy it? That would be a lot better than just going, hey, you know what? We didn't add this. Buy it.
And this is one of the things that me and you do, like, both strongly agree on, is that day one DLC is just not a good thing. But that's just stuff on day one that's available. But what about a DLC that's available a few months down the line that has taken a while to produce? Is that more acceptable if it's 6 months down the line and the developers have gone, hey, we couldn't add this on release because we already put so much content in, but we couldn't add everything we wanted to add. We wanted to add more. So, within the last 6 months, we've been working on this to provide extra value. But we will have to charge you because the people that made this content for you weren't willing to do it for free. Is that okay?
It really depends on what the extra content is. Like, I'm really against paying like an extra £10-15 for another couple of maps. Like, I think I'm one of these sort of old school gamers that's just like, hey, back in the day, we didn't buy maps. People just modded them and added them to the game for free. And you could just go, yep, download, new map, added to the game just like that. Whereas now, something like Call of Duty, it's like, yeah, you want some new maps?
Yeah, and they
bend over and let us.
This is. I know. I try as much as I can for us not to like just. People might watch these videos and think, oh, you know, Andy and Matt just constantly target Call of Duty. They hate the game. I trust me. Like, there have been times where I've enjoyed Call of Duty games.
No,
Like,
I enjoyed Call of Duty. I think, in fact, I think I own a good few of them still. Yeah, I've still got Black Ops and Ghosts.
And I talked about the tradition that I had of like going to midnight releases in the past. So yeah, that's not like, so it's not like we're being biased, but it's more. And the thing with the DLC packs for Call of Duty is that's the problem with all DLC. That's where the initial problem is because for a start, what they started to do is they're like, so you get each DLC pack, you get 4 maps. Now, one of those packs is a remake of an old map that's already come out in a previous game. It's just been reskinned, textures have been upgraded minorly, and that's part of the thing. And then you've got the cosmetic things, personalization packs. I swear to God, if I see personalization packs this year, I'm going to be sending a very angry letter to Sledgehammer Games.
That's such a British thing to do, isn't
I'm going to
it?
send
I'm angry. I'm going to send an angry letter, a strongly worded letter.
Dear sir or madam, to whom it may concern.
Giving my disgust about it.
Yeah. But coming back to my original point, it doesn't take a while. All you need is, like, they go to their art designer and they go, hey, we need to come up with some new camos. Like, okay, I'll draw some concept art. They draw it. They go, oh, let's get this in the game. Put it in the game, ship it off. Oh, that'll be a few pounds for a few different colours.
Wait,
You're selling colours, Andy. That's what they're selling.
No. Did you see the Ghost recent skins?
I haven't, because whenever I see skins, I'm like, no, I'm not listening.
Buy a marijuana trooper.
Wow.
Yeah.
You know, I'll tell you the funniest, while we're on the topic of DLC, the funniest DLC, there's something I talked about in one of the news episodes, was this, this is when I knew that Call of Duty Ghosts was just gone even more downhill. Was when they released the Snoop Dogg DLC voice pack.
No.
I just thought, if you're not going to take yourself serious, but the game, it's meant to be a realistic shooter, and it's like, if you're not going to take yourself seriously, how am I meant to?
No, I have to disagree with you. I think something like the Snoop Dogg DLC in it, that was fairly clever, and it was like, look, who's the main people that play this? Sort of. Yeah,
no doubt it was clever, but it wasn't.
And I would, if I still played the game, I would just go, hey, you know what? I might like Snoop Dogg to be.
But they charge so much for it, and all you're getting is just him going like, ballistics rest ready, those are some fan ass threads, and just stuff like that. And it's like so much of it. I'm like, oh, I want to cringe. It's just so bad.
But it is just the fact that it's like, look, Snoop Dogg is calling down shit in Call of Duty, and that is something I'd just be like, you know what, it's potentially fun enough to try out.
I suppose so, but more, I think just with it when it comes to like downloadable content overall and just having stuff, you know, after 6 months, after whenever, is that it depends. If it took a long time to create, and I like to use Elder Scrolls Skyrim as an example with their downloadable content, they added like not just like cosmetic things. It was like you had like extra content that you could play and enjoy. One of the DLC packs, I haven't got any DLC, but one of them you can own property, like a house, like a safe house a little bit. And and other stuff like that. There's more story added. There's, there are more items added, that kind of thing. And that's when I think downloadable content is worth it. If you're getting more out of the story, you're getting lots more hours in. How many hours can you get in with a personalization pack that's just got like a gun camo on it? Like, it gets boring after, after 20 minutes, you're like, eh.
Well, yeah, that's it. I mean, it's something that you probably wouldn't even realize, or like you buy it and then you're just like, oh yeah, I've got this new gun camo, and then like 5 minutes later you've forgotten the fact that you paid for that, and it's just there on the screen. It's like, okay, I've got a new gun camo. But yeah, that's it. It depends on what the DLC is. Like, if it's adding in like 5 extra game modes to a game, and a load of extra like different things like that, then I think I would happily buy it for the right price.
Okay, so this kind of brings me on to, we did talk about this a little bit prior to us doing the recording, season passes, and this is where me and you have a little bit of a different view, kind of. I mean, because you're like, I think I get the impression that you're completely against season passes altogether. Is that right in saying that, or?
Yeah, I mean, I can see the potential advantage for it, but it is pretty much a gamble, isn't it?
Yeah.
You're like, okay, you're gonna get these DLCs that you're, well, if you're Joe DLC buying blogs, you're probably gonna buy them anyway. So it's like a season pass is a worthy acquisition for you because you get everything at a discount, but it's a complete and utter gamble, like what these things are.
But it does. I mean, with the season passes, like I have purchased some in the past, and I think I have stupidly bought them without actually knowing what I'm going to get. But I think if they're able to, this is why I'm on the fence. So I think if they're able to advertise, tell you everything that's coming up, everything that you can expect in this content, it's a little bit like a pre-order for a game. I think it is very similar to that. Like, you kind of know what you're getting, but you don't know because it hasn't come out yet. You don't know what people think of it.
Yeah.
But you're not spending as much as you would for a game. So if it was, and it kind of, the tempting thing is, it's like, well, I can't take a risk here, and it's not that expensive if I get the season pass altogether. But if I get it individually, then it's going to cost more. And I did this with Borderlands 2 is another example of a season pass I bought. And the reason I did that one was I was just like, well, I loved all the DLC in the first game. I loved the first game. I played like over 10 days of playtime, like on combined PC. Yeah, like ridiculous. But I was like 7 to 10 days. And I was like, well, and I've purchased Borderlands 2 and I like that. How can I go wrong? I was like, I don't really feel like I'm gambling here. I'm just going to buy the season pass. And that paid off. I enjoyed all the DLC. I haven't played through, there's only one I haven't played through, but all of it I've basically played through and enjoyed it. So I kind of base it off my prior experiences. With a new IP, I'm like, whoa, no. Like Watch Dogs. I haven't got that game, don't plan on getting it. But if I had that game, hypothetically, and it was suggested, oh, you can get the season pass, I'd be like, no, I don't know if I wouldn't buy a game and the season pass on the same day. That's basically what I'm getting at. I'd see if I enjoyed the main game first, and then be like, well, the downloadable content's going to hopefully be more of what I've enjoyed so far. I'll just pay a bit extra.
Yeah, I mean, I guess in that respect it could be okay. Like, it's better than pre-ordering a game in that respect. Like, if you've already owned the game and you go through a season pass, you can do that, can't you? You can.
So you can, wait, as in you can get the season pass after you've bought the game?
Yeah.
Yeah, you can do that. It depends. Sometimes there'll be deals like, oh, you have to pre-order the game to get season pass, or the season pass will be available for a limited time. But they don't always do that.
So I mean, I feel like if you've already played the game, you like it, and it's like you can get all of this DLC for a bit cheaper if you buy the season pass, and that would be okay, I guess. It's slightly better than pre-ordering a game and not really knowing what you're going to expect. But I'd still be reluctant to do it, I feel.
So, Yeah, I kind of would agree with that. But something we haven't talked about yet is it's just slightly different, but it's standalone DLC. So, downloadable content where you don't have to have the original game. So, for example, I think Assassin's Creed 4 Black Flag originally came with the DLC pack. It's like Freedom or something. You have like slavery and you play as like one of the supporting roles from the main game, and you're like that's now the main protagonist. And they made that a standalone DLC game. Is that a wise move to make? Or is that does that take away the special thing of like, well, I get to enjoy this downloadable content because I don't see how it makes much sense having standalone personally, because if you're playing the downloadable content, it kind of feels like if they can make it make sense without the full game, I guess, but I don't know. I'm really unsure how I feel about this particular kind of content.
Just to clarify, when you say standalone DLC,
it's basically you don't need.
I mean, you don't need the original game to buy the DLC, and it's just
you don't need the base game. So this has happened with
like Blood Dragon, like Far Cry 3 Blood Dragon.
Yeah, so it's like, well, I don't know if did Far Cry 3 start off as like you needed the original game, or was it immediately a?
No, it was immediately just
See, that's a bit more. That's also one thing, but the other side to it is, what about things that are originally not like a standalone thing, and then they become that? How do you feel about that? Because I don't know. I don't feel 100% sold on the idea. I kind of, something's holding me back, and I don't know what it is.
Yeah, I mean, I've not really had that much experience with it. That's been a DLC item, and then it's just gone standalone, or that I know of. So I don't really know like how much of the extra gameplay that you're getting.
I kind of feel like it's
justify it.
I kind of feel like it's I'm kind of figuring it out in my head now. I feel like it's a bit pointless. So I feel that having it like you don't have to have the base game doesn't really make much sense, because why would you want to pay a little bit to kind of get half of, you're getting like a watered down version of the full game, because you're not getting like all the stuff. It's a lot shorter. Wouldn't you rather have like the main game and all of its content in all its glory, and then add on to that, rather than like you wouldn't buy like the standalone stuff and then go back and play? That doesn't make sense to me.
I guess the one way to look at it that way is, say someone's like, oh, I really like the look of this game, and for some reason you haven't looked at the reviews or anything, so I want to try it out. So if there is like a standalone DLC to it, you could buy that, get a taste of it, and if you enjoy that, then you can go and spend a bit more on the actual game. But then again, there's these things we used to have called demos, that used to do that really well.
The games still have demos. I can't remember the last time I've played a demo. They still.
I actually played a demo yesterday, to be honest.
Was that that wasn't the imaginary plane game that we were having such a...
Oh no, it was
the one where
that.
Because if there's a demo for that game, send me a copy right now, because I would love to.
In fact, what was that called?
It's like a Cult of Wings or something, or
Cult of the Wind.
Cult
of the Wind. I'm just gonna digress a bit from the topic. Just
derail it.
Just to describe how crazy this this game sounds. And in an unknown time and place, a cult that worships the wreckage of ancient airplanes gathers to mimic dogfights of old. With the perk of humanity far behind, their world is a mausoleum to a lush and vibrant Art Deco past. Basically, it's a game about people that pretend to be airplanes that fight each other.
This game,
it's crazy.
This game was like, I was watching a video of it, and The problem with this game is no one plays it. There's like 5 or so people that play it apparently on multiplayer, and it relies on multiplayer. But it does look quite fun. It just looks so ridiculous.
It looks stupid. Just check it out. It's on Steam, and it's got stuff like blindingly high speed mock combat.
So you're like basically like an airplane that's pretending to fly around, and pretend like loads of pretend things. You know, like when you're a kid, and you pretended to be an airplane going, yeah. It's got all that, and you should, you guys should, even if you just want to have a laugh, or you actually seriously want to buy the game and try it out, like Andy said, it's called, was it Cult of
the Wind?
Cult of the Wind.
I don't know if I would justify buying it.
Yeah, maybe
I
not.
haven't played it, so probably not buy it.
But just check it out, because you'll have
check it out.
It'll make you laugh.
Make your own decision if you want to buy it. Because neither of us have played it.
If you do buy it, tell us what you think about it, because that would be really interesting. And actually, whether you can actually, if there's people online that you can play with now, because we saw some old reviews and people apparently weren't playing it. But that's like,
Just to jump back onto the subject, I just want to say, screw you, EA, for the amount of DLC for The Sims 3. Right, I'm just looking at it now. There's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19 DLCs, a minimum cost of £9.99, a maximum of £29.99 for a DLC. It's not, you need to own the original bloody game to play it, and
but like, that's too much.
The original game costs less than some of the DLC. That is how ridiculous this is.
But can I just ask one question, Andy? Would there happen to be swimming pools and toddlers in one of these DLC packs?
There wouldn't. That's in the actual game. However, if you're going to buy The Sims 4, that might be a DLC in the future. We
don't get any swimming pools anymore, do we? Apparently,
don't get any swimming pools in The Sims 4, which apparently is because of technical reasons. Because
too many people are telling you why now. This is why too many people were leading their Sims into the pools, taking away the ladders, and just sitting there, and they weren't actually enjoying the rest of the game.
I mean,
that's what we want to do. That's the enjoyment.
I don't feel like that's the reason they're just like, we don't want swimming pools because there's been too many swimming pool related deaths with people taking away ladders, IRL, and people drowned in swimming pools.
You never know. You never know. There could be some hidden conspiracy, but
you heard it here first. There is a conspiracy against real life swimming pools.
I've got to say, on the topic of Sims 4, even with the DLC, I'm not really. I bought Sims 2, bought Sims 3. Sims 4 really sold me in any particular way. Like, it doesn't look like much has changed, really.
No, apparently, I heard this today. Sims can converse while one is sitting down now.
God,
so a Sim sitting down can converse with someone standing up.
Do you know we've gone from that, right? We've gone from they can sit down while conversing to before, right? Sims 2 to Sims 3. You could have a whole neighborhood that you could walk around from seamlessly without any loading screens, and you could go to the shops, to the library, to someone's house, and they'll be in their house. You can go back to your house, to sitting down on a bench conversing. Like, how did we get such a big leap from 2 to 3 to 3 to...
All I want with my Sims game is to drown someone in a swimming pool and to burn a house down because it's not got any doors and they can't escape.
So yeah, no, I feel massively put off just by the fact of, even though I like buying some DLC, Sims 4, I would not buy EA. I will not buy your 19 packs of DLCs, some of which are more expensive than the full game. How is that? I don't.
You're talking. If you were to buy all these individually, there might be some sort of pack. Then
like £200, £300 or something.
Over 250 quid. Because like how many? 1, 2, 3. 3 of the DLCs cost 20 quid, and then 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Sorry, 3 of the DLCs cost £30. 8. 8
Is,
of
is
them
there is
cost
there a lot in
20.
these? Is there a lot in these DLC packs, or is it just the usual kind of adding extra items stuff?
One of them's what? The Sims into the future. So you can take your Sims into the future. Wow, we
Couldn't you
invented
do
the
that like
TARDIS.
they could do that in like Sims 3 though?
That,
I'm presuming
no,
they're gonna.
no. That's the Sims 3 DLC into the future.
Yeah, but like, are they? I mean, I presume they're gonna add pets like as another. Do you know what frustrates me about Sims? They sell the same DLC every time. Like Sims 2 pets, Sims 3 pets.
I mean, this is turning into a massive Sims bashing session. But
I know, but there's a
£20
reason
for the
for that.
diesel stuff. Dress your Sims in diesel, not the fuel diesel,
Oh
the
my
clothes. I mean, if you could
Wow.
dress them in diesel and then set a light to them, that would make an entertaining game. And I would probably spend £10 to be able to do that. No, I wouldn't, but you can.
I kind of get that with the Sims games, people have a jigsaw mentality. I want to play a game. I want you to go into the swimming pool and try and get out without a ladder.
You imagine it's Saw 3, or one of the Saw games.
It does seem that way with the way people.
You just have Jigsaw, which is another £10 DLC.
Oh
Just
yeah, the Jigsaw
cycling around.
DLC is it's going to be available for the cheap price of £40.
The cheap price. I mean, look, we should just stop this, and if you want to see the end of this video, it's going to cost you £50, I'm afraid.
Yeah, because even though we're doing it on the same time, at the end of the video, for some reason we couldn't actually have time to finish the video off. So tomorrow there will be an add-on pack for the Spawn Point Episode 10 Part 2, and best of all, it's only going to cost you the cheap price of $9.99.
Oh, 9. I mean, we did just have a discussion there, and we thought 50. You know, we're going to give you a discount for this.
Yeah, we're going to give you a
one-time
discount,
only.
but do you know what you
It's gonna
get?
be day one DLC for the Spawn Point
You get
podcast.
two extra minutes of the Spawn Point as an add-on pack for $9.99. Now, I've got a list of testimonials that are not made up that are all about the Spawn Point add-on pack. Let me just read something to you. So, this one that comes from Anonymous, apparently, says, I can't wait to buy the Spawn Point DLC add-on pack. 2 minutes is definitely worth £9.99. In fact, you should donate extra. You should pay twice as much. And those 2 minutes are going to make your life complete, apparently.
I've got one here.
Yeah.
Got one here. Spawn Point, worst podcast ever. 10 out of 10. See, they scored us 10. You should buy the DLC.
See, yeah. And the only reason it was that 10 out of 10 was because of that add-on pack.
Because of the add-on pack.
But getting back to more serious stuff. Yeah, I think we've said pretty much all there needs to be said about DLC. We talked about the standalone stuff, day one DLC, season passes, and the cosmetic aspects, and even EA's ridiculous 19 to 20 DLC packs that I am not going to plan to buy ever. And there's no swimming pools either.
Or the new DLC Battlefield Hardline, but we won't go into that.
But yeah, so as as we have said, let us know if you do buy that Cult of the Wind. I think that's the right name of the game. Let us know if you do buy that, or if you check it out. We'd like to know what you think of it. And what do you think? Do you buy DLC packs? Are you going to buy the Sims 4 DLC packs? Please don't. Please. But just, let us know what you think about the whole thing and whether DLC is the kind of thing you're interested in. Just drop something in the comments section below. We'll respond to you. We won't ignore you.
No.
Although the comments do come at an add-on price of £2 for a comment DLC pack.
Yep. And that's you get the first comment free though.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But anyway, that has been episode 10 of the Spawn Point with
our last ever episode of the Spawn Point podcast. The show has been cancelled.
Yep. We're gonna get sued by EA. So we have obviously been joined by Steve Barnett 2.0. He may make a return in the future, 2.0. He may rise up against, might be a Rise of the Machines. We may see him back. The original Steve Barnett, not the spirit, the ghost of Steve Barnett that we have here. He won't be here. He'll be back. He'll be back. But yep, you might see 2.0. If you'd like to see 2.0, let us know actually, because he's been very good this podcast. Almost as good as the original.
Very good.
But yeah, I've been Matt. Andy's been Andy. And we will see you next week.
Goodbye.
Goodbye. And bye, DLC.
Goodbye.